After 2 days of fractious meetings with his counterparts at the United Nations, Donald Trump held a special news conference with the world's media on Wednesday night. And when he was grilled over his latest claims, he received an unexpected reaction.
This is quite a gathering. Wow. It's a lot of people, a lot of media. America's so true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
They love how honest he is, and it's not diplomatic, and they find it funny.
Okay.
Let me tell you, all day yesterday, they were falling over themselves to get a picture with him, to talk about how great his speech was, how strong it was. Whether he said good things about them or not, they love that he's honest with them.
They weren't laughing at me. They were laughing with me. We had fun.
Well, at the press conference, Donald Trump attacked old enemies like Iran and China, but he also talked about Syria and the success achieved there. With more now from New York, here's Ilya Petrenko.
If Syria is on the road to peace, that is mostly because of Donald Trump's own efforts. At least that's the way the president sees it.
I put out on social media and elsewhere, I gave Mike Pompeo, John Bolton, everybody these orders. Don't let it happen. I said, don't let it happen. That doesn't mean they can't be selective. They can't be, go in and they've got to do what they've got to do with terrorists, assume the terrorists, but don't kill millions of people. And it stopped. You saw that.
It was quite surprising to hear the president repeat the words thank you to Syria, Iran, and Russia for putting the Idlib offensive on hold. But whenever else the president mentioned the word Iran, it was nothing pleasant to say the least. Very strong language. And also at the press conference, Mr. Trump continued to bash the Iran nuclear deal very hard. We know that pretty much the rest of the world disagrees with the American leader on that, but during his speech, Mr. Trump made it clear that he doesn't really get bothered by that.
This week, you put out a call to action to other countries to rally with America to put pressure on Iran. Rouhani's still calling for the U.S. to come back into the old deal. But after meeting with world leaders this week, did you make any progress towards a potential new deal?
It doesn't matter what world leaders think on Iran. Iran's going to come back to me, and they're going to make a good deal.
And that's even after President Trump's first ever chairmanship of the UN Security Council, where he can't have misheard an entire round table of other world leaders and government ministers.
I ask all members of the Security Council to work with the United States to ensure the Iranian regime changes its behavior.
Deeply regrets the United States' unilateral withdrawal from the agreement, a decision with far-reaching consequences that makes our world more unsafe.
Bolivia categorically condemns the unilateral actions imposed by the government of the US against Iran.
We agree with US President's objectives on Iran, but we disagree with the methods for achieving them.
Iran is abiding by its commitments under the deal.
It remains the best means of preventing Iran developing a nuclear weapon.
This is something that we are actively working on together with China, Iran and the EU.
Well, the dispute between the EU and the US over how to deal with Iran has escalated dramatically in recent days. On Monday, the bloc's foreign policy chief announced that Europe will be working with Russia and China to create special payment channels to allow trade with Iran to continue in defiance of US sanctions. And that has sparked harsh words from Washington.
The European Union has this so wrong, and it's all because of their ego and their pride. You've got Ms. Mogherini, who helped get this deal together. She's trying to hold a deal together because she did it, but she's not looking out for the best interests of the European countries who, number one, don't want to do business with Iran.
The reason that she's attacking based on ego and pride is because she's deflecting the fact that the United States has had nothing but ego and pride when it comes to the way in which we're mishandling trade deals, mishandling the way we treat other countries. What the U.S. should be doing right now is actually trying to go in that direction, which is to open up trade with other countries. Let American culture spread when businesses and consumers in other countries learn more about the way we think and the way we are. The ideas of America, the ideas of freedom, freedom of the press, liberalism, these are great ideas, but we're not going to spread them by cutting ourselves off. And there is nothing more arrogant, nothing more foolish, nothing more counterproductive than cutting ourselves off, cutting our ideas off from the rest of the world.